Hey, Michael and Heather coming to you from what a country. We're in sunny Phu Quoc, an island in Vietnam off the coast of Cambodia. Really up and coming place. It's kind of surreal. They've been trying to create an Italian Greek village here, and they have a Venice village up on the north side of the island. So, very, very interesting, kind of surreal place. But today's title, Gambling to Save Money. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? So let me tell you what we've done on Carnival. I know that there are gambling programs on other cruise lines. Carnival is a bit mysterious. You don't exactly know what you're getting. They haven't published how long you have to gamble, how much money, what points it takes to get cruises, that sort of thing. So it's a little bit of a mystery. So we're just going to share with you our experience. So on a lark, I decided on a cruise that I was without Heather to gamble and just see what happens. And so I think it was a 5-day cruise down to Mexico out of LA. And I amassed about 2,200 points. So I gambled several hours every single day of the cruise. Now at the end of that cruise, I was down about $150, and I only play craps. And so if you know anything about craps, you know that was quite good. So how the heck do you save money by gambling and risking losing a bunch? Well, when I got 2,200 points from Carnival, the next thing I noticed is I started getting deals from them. And if you're a member of Carnival, or if you've cruised with them, you go up and click on your name, and then there'll be a button that says offers, or sometimes you have to go over to your profile and click that, and there'll be deals or offers. Click on those offers. They don't tell you when they're sending a deal to you, so they don't give you any notice, so you just need to periodically check. And what I started getting were free rooms. And so let me explain what a free room is. This is where Carnival charges you nothing except gratuities and whatever taxes and port fees there are. So it drops the cost of a cruise probably by 75%. It's an incredible savings. And typically with those cruises, you get two other things. You almost always get drinking for free in the casino, because of course they want you to be drinking while you're there, so that works in their favor. And the second thing on almost every cruise deal is some sort of onboard credit. And we've ranged anywhere from $500 to $100 credit. And then sometimes they'll give you play money, which you can just use in the casino. Now, the value of the onboard credit is that you can use that towards your gratuities, which again drops the cost of that cruise anymore. And so we just got deal after deal after deal, but I wasn't cruising and I wasn't gambling. I only gambled one stretch for that one cruise. So again, you don't know what you're going to get from Carnival. You just have to kind of wait and see. But as those free cruise deals came in, we decided to kind of chase the dream that so many people have about just living on a cruise boat. So we've booked out 5 months of cruises, almost all of them with free cabins, almost all of them with onboard credit that can be used towards your tips. And so we're going to be cruising for 5 months at $86 a day, everything included. That's pretty astonishing. Now, several of those trips are over to Europe. Several of those trips are back-to-backs. Sometimes we're doing back-to-backs out of the same port on the same ship for over a month. And this means you don't even leave the ship. So it's a very easy way of traveling. And in order to do those back-to-backs, sometimes you'll have to plug a hole. They won't always give you a deal with back-to-back cruises. So sometimes you have to plug a hole to be able to stay in one port the whole time. But what that does is it drastically drops your expenses. So we're slow travelers and we're budget travelers. And so to be able to do a back-to-back to back-to-back and basically do a month or 6 weeks out of the same port means no hotel fees, no taxi fees, no airline fees, right? So it's an extremely fun way of traveling because that 80 something dollars a day includes your food, includes your entertainment, includes everything. So take a look at that. Now, if you're not an experienced gambler, you can try craps. Excuse me, slots. I don't much like playing slots, and then Heather has an allergy to smoke, so she doesn't join me in the casino. So I don't enjoy gambling. It isn't a fun place for me. I practiced law once in Las Vegas years and years ago. Old Vegas. It's nothing like it is now. Um, and I enjoyed that. But now it's smoky, it's noisy, it's just not my gig. But go in there for a few hours and make sure you have a system so that you don't drop a lot of money. You don't want to be emotionally based in your decisions, right? You don't want to be sitting there thinking, well, it's going to be this next one I'm going to win, and I've got to win. So set a budget, set an amount of money that you can afford to spend, like maybe if you were going to go out on the town for dinner and a movie or something. A few $100, $200 or $300 is usually the budget I have. And then if you lose that, leave. Go back to your cabin. Go find your spouse or whatever. But take that 200 or 300 and then try to parlay it into something, or keep a system where you can play for a long time with minimal losses. Because again, the casino doesn't lose over time. And so those are just strategies that you can use to keep from blowing a lot of money, because the point of this is to drastically save on these offers that the cruise line is going to be sending you. And so if it cost you $1,000 in gambling losses, that's not a deal. And so you can go online or you can buy some books, blackjack or craps, and find strategies of betting which drastically lower your odds of losing. They aren't the best way of winning, but they allow you to play for a long time. I probably played 15 hours on that one cruise that I gambled, and I lost $150. So in my past experience, that would be called winning. So take a look at that. Even if gambling isn't your gig, it's a really, really interesting way to score big on a cruise. Now, some cruise lines like Royal Caribbean actually have a program. They'll lay out how many points, how many hours you need to gamble. And so you can check out their rules. But whatever cruise line you're on, the slots are paid out at a formula, but the table games are basically up to the perception of the pit boss or the dealer. So you're going to want to register with them when you sit down at the table, give them your onboard ID card, so they'll log you into the system, and they will just generally, off the top of their head, keep track of how much you're betting and how long, and those things will drive up your points. And then those points will be gathered later. And with Royal Caribbean, for instance, 2,500 points is guaranteed you to get a certificate with a free cruise on it. What Carnival does differently is they don't tell you how many points you need, but you'll get multiple offers that you can apply to hundreds of cruises. And so instead of getting a certificate that might have 10 or 15 cruises on it that you can pick as your freebie, Carnival will simply give you the deal, and then as part of that deal, you can go in and log in your destination, your departure port, and the time of year, and then see what deals. So usually I would estimate out of the deals that they've sent to me, the offers that they've sent me, there's probably 100 or more cruises that you can choose from a variety of locations around the world. So I really like that system better. So Carnival's a little dicey. You don't exactly know what you need to do. You're kind of at their mercy. But when you do get the offer, it just seems much better than any other cruise line that I'm aware of. So anyway, if you've cruised and gambled and had it work out well or bad, tell me down below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. This is something we're just experimenting with. I hope they keep sending us these deals, right? Because as slow travelers, being on a long-term cruise is just fun. As always, subscribe and click that like button and that bell. All right, cheers.